One of the key issues is the question of creating a Palestinian state. And of course, this is a question about the future. As far as I understand, I haven't yet studied all these proposals in detail, but there is also an issue related to the transfer of power in the enclave to the Palestinian administration after some time and its formation. Issues related to ensuring security, creating a local militia, taking into account the level of trust that exists between Russia and our Arab friends, including and above all our Palestinian friends. Of course, I believe our participation could be in demand. Do you understand what the issue is? We didn't fully disclose what was discussed in Anchorage. We simply said that, in general, both the United States and the Russian Federation have an understanding of where we should be heading and what we should be striving for in order to end this conflict, and to do so by peaceful means. And these are not simple questions. Donald and I agreed that I would also need to think things over in Moscow, talk with our colleagues and with our allies as well, to discuss this issue. And he told me the same thing. These are indeed complex and intricate issues that certainly require further dedicated work and careful consideration, but we steadfastly remain within the established framework of the important discussion that previously took place in Anchorage. We are absolutely not changing anything at all for ourselves here in this particular situation. We believe that some additional work needs to be done on both sides, but overall, we remain within the framework of the Alaska agreements. As for Trump, well, it's not up to me to decide who should be awarded the Nobel Prize. First of all, it seems to me, and it's unlikely that anyone among your viewers and listeners would object. Hardly anyone would. I'll tell you now what I mean. There have been cases when the committee awarded the Nobel Peace Prize to people who did nothing for peace. And in my opinion, with these decisions, they caused enormous damage to the prestige of this prize. Well, someone comes along, good or bad, and right away, a month or two later, boom, they get it. For what? They did absolutely nothing at all. Well, that's the difference. It's always work for some kind of merit. And that's why it seems to me the prestige has been largely lost. But whatever, it's really not for me personally to judge, but whether or not the current US president deserves the Ukrainian prize, I don't know. But he is really doing a lot to resolve it. Such complex crises that last for decades, for years, or even decades. I've already said this for sure. I know regarding the crisis in Ukraine, he sincerely strives for this. Some things have worked out, some things haven't. Maybe we'll still be able to accomplish a lot based on the agreements and discussions in Anchorage. But he is definitely making an effort, definitely working on these issues, on achieving peace and resolving complex international situations. The most striking example is the situation in the Middle East. If he manages to bring to completion everything Donald has been striving for, everything he has talked about and is trying to do, then that will be a historic event. It is simply a historic event. And if you noticed, yesterday I spoke with the Prime Minister of Iraq, who is currently heading the League of Arab States. We agreed with him that we would even postpone our meeting between Russia and the League of Arab States. And I did this, it was my initiative. I did this precisely because I do not want to interfere with the process that is currently, as we hope, it has been established and is progressing, by the way, on the initiative and with the direct involvement of Trump in the Middle East. Well, isn't that an achievement? It is an achievement. But I repeat, it's not for me to decide whether this deserves an award or not, and whether this kind of achievement deserves an award of this kind. We have a very high level of trust with our Arab friends from Palestine, and from the very beginning, as I said when I spoke at the Valdai Club, we support the initiatives of the United States. President Trump is in this direction, on this track. But one of the key issues is One of the key issues is the question of creating a Palestinian state. And of course, this is a question about the future. As far as I understand, I haven't yet studied all these proposals in detail, but there is also an issue related to the transfer of power in the enclave to the Palestinian administration after some time and its formation. Issues related to ensuring security, creating a local militia, taking into account the level of trust that exists between Russia and our Arab friends, including and above all our Palestinian friends. Of course, I believe our participation could be in demand. If our friends consider this to be the case, we will, of course, always be ready to take part in this. We have participated in this for decades, and I believe that Russia has something to say and something to offer in addressing the issues that will inevitably arise during the implementation of the agreements reached.